जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरंग गंधर्विक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत त्रिविक्रम गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत श्रील गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिष्य नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुग गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिशिमार भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शिशिमार भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जय। तदीय शुभ थिरुभाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट शिशिमार भक्ति बलभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट भक्ति दैत माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट शिल भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट शिल भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोसाई महाराज की जय। All the associates of Jagat Guru Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Pravishta Mahabhagavat Nityalala Śrīla Baladevi Jibhushan Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Ramananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Śrīla Vrindavan Das Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. Prem Jai Shri Namachay Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. तदीय शुभ थिरुभाव तिथि की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री सिद्ध बकुल की जय। श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर समाधि मंदिर की जय। श्री गिरिराज सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज महाराज की जय। जय श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Sarva Vigna Vinashankari Shri Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai. Bhakta Prabhar Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ju ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So we will do Mangala Charan and then we'll continue on. One second. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय देवि त्वं नायमां चरणान्तिकम्। भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्षाय क्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. And we'll say it's pranam mantra for Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja and something for Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. One second, let me just find it. Pranam mantra, here it is. Okay. So this is the pranam mantra for Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kripaikavita Yah Maryada Rakshati Vaishnavana Kripavala Madhava Prishtakami Shri Bhaktidang Bharatim Ashrayama. I'll read the translation. I accept shelter at the lotus feet of the most revered Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, who treasures the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his exclusive wealth, who is the personification of following Vaishnava etiquette in its purest form, who considers the boundless mercy of Śrīla Bhakti Dayit Madhav Goswami Maharaj as his life and soul, and always aspires to eternally remain his dearmost servitor. And there's in square brackets, it says, one who knows and fulfills the most cherished desires, the manobhishta of his spiritual master, and who bestows Shri Bhakti, the topmost service, to Srimati Radhika as her maidservant, to one and all, without discrimination. Jai. And then there's one second, let me just find for Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. One second, let me just get this. Okay, sorry. So this, I think, what is it, the last 4 verses? The last 3 verses are from Antya Lila. So Mahaprabhu says, Haridasa Achila Prithivir Shiromani Teho Bina Ratna Shunya Hoilo Medini. Mahaprabhu says, Haridas is the crown jewel of the earth. In his absence, the earth has lost its gem. Jai Haridasa Boli Koro Haridvani Eto Boli Mahaprabhu Nachen Apani. Mahaprabhu said, say Jai Haridas and call out Haridvani, the sounds of Hari. So said Mahaprabhu as he danced himself. Sabe gai Jai 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 Haridas Namir Mahima Jehu Korila Prakash. Everyone saying Jai 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 Haridas, who brought forth the glory of the holy name. Okay, so Dandavat Pranams. Niri Hari Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams, and Bhavatarani Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
And those
Anadi,
pronouns.
and Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, and one second, let me just go to Rup Manjari Didi and Isabella, and I see 7 other devotees. Dandavat Pranams, everybody. So before we begin our program today, I received the most devastating news. So I'm not very good at, like, I don't, yeah, I'll just say, so the youngest son of Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, who are with us right now, just today on this most auspicious day, I'm not sure, well, in America, is it Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Ṭhākura's appearance day right now, or is it?
No, that was yesterday for us too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So on this disappearance day of Srinamacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, and this most auspicious disappearance day of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, the son of Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, the youngest son, Bhima Prabhu. He has left this world, but on such an auspicious day. And so if all the devotees, if they could pray for his most auspicious journey into his next birth, where he very quickly hope he'll, if we pray that he takes birth in the home of wonderful Vaishnavas and very quickly comes to the feet of a pure devotee. He had the association of pure devotees in this lifetime, and I'm sure very soon in his next lifetime, he'll continue having the association of pure devotees, serving Vaishnavas. And he's had a very auspicious life. I heard his whole life, he just ate Mahaprasad his whole life. And his parents are disciples of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Swami Prabhupada, and he had the association of Śrīla Gurudev, and so yeah. So if everybody can pray for Bhima Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the blessings. I feel ambiguous. I didn't want to interrupt this flow of nectar that comes, but it's like when Srivasa's son died, he didn't want anybody to interrupt Lord Chaitanya's, and so I didn't know what to do, but I open my heart to you, and to give you blessings for his transition. So thank you, Prabhu.
I mean, there could be nothing more devastating than this, and that you even showing up for this program, I'm so grateful. And please, all devotees, please pray for Bhima Prabhu, and maybe anyways, maybe we can sing also the Shoka Shatana. I mean, it's quite long and I have to go for a program, but at some point maybe, or with
It could be any time tomorrow, like that.
Okay.
Jai Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna. Dhanavas to all, and those to you.
So we'll now I didn't get time to prepare anything for today, like what we're going to read, but I just right now I went to Vishnu Chaitanya Vani website, that's Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's website, and there's so much there. So we'll just I think maybe we can begin reading Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's glorification of Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, and then we'll see there's so much. So okay, Hare Krishna. Okay. I'm going to copy this onto a Word document and read it there. Jai Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh wow, this is quite long. It's 5,000 words. Okay. So the following is an excerpt of a Bhavanuvad of a discourse by Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on September 3, 2009. Two opinions. So I think today's program will go on for a bit longer today, just letting you know. Yeah, because it's 7:28 now. I think we'll finish at 7:28. This will go on for 1.5 hours. Just wanted to let you know in the beginning. Okay. Today is a special tithi, the disappearance day of Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. There are two prominent opinions prevalent with regards to Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. The first opinion is that Rishika Muni's son, Mahatapa Brahma, who had appeared during the time of Prahlad, Satya Yuga, has now come as Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. In his earlier life, Mahatapa Brahma had collected tulsi leaves and offered them in service to Bhagavan without first washing them. Thus, he had to take birth as a Yavan in his next life. The second opinion, one second, let me make this a little bit bigger actually. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Okay, the second opinion is that during Dwapar Yuga, when Sri Nandanandan Krishna was cowherding with his cowherd boys, Brahma desired to test him, thinking only foolish people address him as the Supreme Lord. Considering him merely the son of a cowherding dynasty, Lord Brahma questioned, how can he be the Supreme Lord? So Brahma stole the calves Krishna was herding along with the cowherd boys and hid them in a cave, within the Sumeru mountains. After 1 year elapsed, Brahma came to check on Krishna. To his astonishment, he found Krishna along with his cowherd friends, happily herding calves in the forest as usual. When he immediately returned to check the cave where he had hidden them, he also found the cowherd boys asleep there. So where did the other set come from? Bewilderment of Brahma. It took no time for Bhagavan Shri Krishna to realize that Brahma stole the calves and the cowherd boys. But for the sake of Leela, he acted very anxious and wandered here and there in search of his lost friends and calves. Seeing him act in this way, Brahma became very happy in his mind. But as soon as he turned around, Krishna expanded himself in as many cowherd boys and calves as were missing, and returned home. Amazingly, no gopi or cow realized that their child had not returned home. But what changes had occurred? Previously, the gopis had more love for Krishna than their own children. But now they found no difference in their love for Krishna and their own children. It was equal. So they feared that they were entrapped by Maya because of their deep feelings of attachment for their children. Regardless, during that 1 year period, nobody could recognize what changes had occurred. This is because Krishna had assumed the forms so perfectly, replicating the voices, the bodily odors, and even their pranks and plays were so very like his original companions. Cows recognize their young ones by smell, but they also could not recognize that Krishna had become their calves. It is observed that cows have natural love for their younger calves. But now they were feeling more love for the elder calves than the younger ones, because Krishna himself had assumed the form of the older calves. No one could distinguish. So perfect were the changes. When Brahma came and saw this happening, he was dumbstruck. To bestow mercy on Brahma, Krishna transformed all the cowherd boys and the calves into their four-handed Narayan forms. Brahma saw uncountable Narayan Murtis, and then had the realization that Krishna was the original. He was the Mool Karan, the cause of all, the original cause of all. What Krishna's form connotes. At that point, Brahma offered the prayers which are found in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14. No merate brabapushe tarirambaraya kunjavatang saparipichalasan mukhaya vanyasraje kavalavetra vishana venu lakshma shriye mridupade pashupangajaya. And there's actually a song based on this verse from Krishna Prem Tarangani going in the Gaudiya Giti Gucha. It'll be, I think, 3 verses on this, like Bengali verses. O Lord, you are fit to receive the worship of the entire universe. O son of the king of cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers and leaves, and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, a flute, and a morsel of grain mixed with yogurt in your hands, you are most attractive. Your lotus feet are very soft. I offer my prayers unto you. You are Pashupanga Jaya. Pashupa is Nanda Maharaj, and you are his son. Your complexion is Abra Vapushe, like a dark rain cloud, and your garment is Tarded Ambaraya, brilliant like lightning. What is the meaning? Like in a hot summer, when the world is suffering due to severe heat and lack of rains, as soon as clouds are seen in the sky, the heart rejoices in the hope that the rains are not far away. So your complexion is an indication of your compassion, and your pitambar, yellow-colored garments, brilliantly shining like lightning, gives the assurance that very soon rains will shower on us, because whenever lightning accompanies the clouds, it is indicative that if it is raining already, it will certainly increase. Or if it hasn't rained yet, then very shortly it will begin to pour. Such is your merciful form. Wow, what a beautiful description. I've never heard like that. So how to reconcile? There's these 2 different opinions that we just read. No, wait. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. So Brahma, seeing Krishna holding a mixture of rice and yogurt in his left hand and standing and eating, disregarded this very form as ordinary, thinking that this is not in conformity. This is not in conformity with the Vedas, eating with the left hand. Assuming if indeed he were the Supreme Lord, he would surely possess knowledge of the Vedas. Now that Brahma is singing his now that very Brahma is singing his glories. Therefore, it is very difficult to understand the scriptures, which is why they are to be studied under proper guidance from personalities who have realized the knowledge of the scriptures, those who are Shastra-vid. Otherwise, one will not be able to reconcile the contradictions of the scriptures. On one hand, it is said, if something is purchased from the market, and after using a portion of it for oneself, if the remaining part is offered to Bhagavan, it amounts to an offense. It is also mentioned, upon having darshan of the deity form of Bhagavan, if one does not instantly offer obeisances, it amounts to an offense. So how will one be able to reconcile how the companions of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the Sakas, do not offer him obeisances, but rather climb onto his shoulders when he is defeated in the sports, and offer him the food which they have already tasted? Are these not offenses? How will you reconcile this? There's an instance in Srimad Bhagavatam when Twashta Rishi performed a yajna in which, during his utterances of the mantras, some differences arose. Where he should have pronounced in short, he uttered it longer, and vice versa. When he was to speak Indra Shatro Vivardhasva, He said the exact same words, but without giving proper emphasis on the words. Shatru vivardhasva. By doing so, the result was opposite of the intended purpose. In another place in scriptures, it is said, even if one utters the words mara mara, mara means like death or kill. So even if one utters the words mara mara, one will be benefited by the fruits of uttering Rama Nam. Let's see, let's just remove this hyphen. It becomes Ram, and then Ram. So Mara. We're saying Ram. Where is the reconciliation, as both are the verdicts of the scriptures? The difference is that one has been written for the purposes of karma kanda, or service performed to Bhagavan with some ulterior motive, and the other has been revealed for the purposes of performing bhakti. Externally, there's no apparent difference in the activities performed on the platform of bhakti and karma, but the difference is in the ultimate intention or goal. Indra performed Vamandev's worship very opulently and served him very well. But despite this, Indra had to suffer the sin of Brahma Hatya when he killed Vritrasura. On the other hand, Hanuman did not have to suffer when he burnt Lanka, killing so many, including many Brahmins, women, pregnant women, and cows. How can you reconcile this? Therefore, it is said that one must study the scriptures under the guidance of devotees. The glories of Bhagavan and Vaishnavas are not limited by circumstances. After realizing his mistake, Brahma sought forgiveness for his offense to Krishna. As a matter of retribution, in Kali Yuga, Brahma had come to this material world in a Yavan caste, because that same Krishna descended on this earth, assuming the bodily luster and mood of Srimati Radharani in the most munificent form as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Feeling apprehensive that he might again offend Bhagavan in this incarnation, Brahma performs penance in Antardvip. Understanding his internal mood of prayer, Sri Krishna gave him darshan in the form of Gauranga and informed him that during the time of Gaur Lila, he would take birth in the Yavan caste and his name would be Haridas, and he would bring auspiciousness to all the living beings. He prayed for this arrangement of taking. Brahma prayed for this arrangement of taking a low birth so that false ego or pride would not induce him to make another offense at the lotus feet of Gauranga. Bhagavan or Vaishnavas can take birth in any caste, and despite this, their glories and importance are not tainted in any manner. And thus he appeared in the village of Burana, in the Satkira subdivision of Khulna in Bangladesh. Some are of the opinion that the place lies in the district known as Chobis Parganas, Dakhin Chobis Parganas, why did I say that? Chobis Parganas, 24 Parganas. While others say that it is in Jeshore district in Bangladesh. And some others say that it is in the Khulna district. This is because of the repeated changes in the partitions of the lands. Okay. He is 35 years older than Mahaprabhu and 23 years older than Nityananda Prabhu. Wow, Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura is very old. Didn't realize he was that old. 35 years older. 23 years older. Okay. The impact of hearing Shuddha Nam. Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura used to chant the holy names and also preach the glories of the holy name, and for this reason, all people greatly respected him. Once, a jealous landlord named Ramachandra Khan engaged a famous prostitute by the name Lakshahira to spoil Haridāsa Ṭhākura's character. She was very beautiful, young, and claims that she could accomplish the task within 3 days. Ramachandra Khan wanted to send police along with her in order to expose Haridāsa Ṭhākura immediately. But she refused, saying to wait till she had first associated with Haridāsa. Haridāsa Ṭhākura lived in a hut and served Tulsi Devi by performing parikrama, watering her, and offering a lamp, and then chanting the holy names. He would chant more than 3 lakh of names in a day, and thus 1 crore in a month. Lakshahira went there and tried to attract him by her expressions and gestures. But Haridāsa was unmoved. He was nirvikar. He also spoke convincingly to her, assuring, "After chanting a fixed number of rounds of the holy name, I will fulfill your desire." Therefore she sat there, waiting and listening to Harinam, not with good intentions, on the contrary, only fueled by her bad motives. Even so, her listening worked like medicine. Her listening worked like a medicine. As the day broke, she became impatient to leave. Haridāsa said, "Please excuse me, I could not complete my rounds, but I am sure I will be able to complete them tomorrow." So the next day, again she returned, first offering pranams to Tulsi Devi and Haridāsa Ṭhākura, and then taking a seat. He continued his chanting of the holy name, and another night passed. Haridāsa said, "Oh, do not feel unhappy, because today also I could not complete my rounds. I will definitely finish my rounds tomorrow." She came on the 3rd day too, and after hearing Nam continuously, she was transformed. She admitted the truth to Haridāsa Ṭhākura that Ramachandra Khan had sent her to him with the intention to spoil his character. Then Haridāsa Ṭhākura told her, "I knew beforehand. I remained here only to bring about auspiciousness for you." Haridāsa Ṭhākura instructed her to reside in that hut where she could perform Tulsi Parikrama and chant Harinam. He gave the same teachings to her as he was practicing. That is, to chant so many rounds, and afterwards he left that place. There's a picture of the completely transformed Lakshahira chanting in front of Tulsi Devi, and then Haridāsa Ṭhākura is walking off. Ramachandra Khan had committed Vaishnav aparad by attempting to spoil the life of Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Even though Haridāsa Ṭhākura did not take offense, the penalty was that the Muslim ruler's men came and plundered his house. They cooked and ate non-vegetarian food in the place where he performed Devi Puja, disgracing his sacred space. Additionally, they arrested all the members of his family, looted their wealth, and left. It was such an uncanny instance. Vaishnavas do not accept contaminated wealth. Meanwhile, the prostitute became a great Vaishnavi. Many advanced Vaishnavas would go to meet her. She was also instructed to donate all her wealth to the Brahmanas. She could have offered it all to her guru, but in this regard, our Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada explained, if the Vaishnavas did not first accept it, she was to offer it to the Brahmins in charity. This is the rule. Interesting. The dire consequence of Vaishnava aparad. From there, Haridāsa Ṭhākura came to the Hooghly district to a place known as Saptagram. A big religious assembly was being held there, and Haridāsa Ṭhākura desired to listen. Many Karmi and Jnani scholars deliberated on the glories of Harinam, quoting that it destroys all sins and so on. Realizing that the discussions were headed in the opposite direction, Haridāsa Ṭhākura stood up and presented the real fruit of chanting of the holy name. He said that the real fruit of the chanting of the holy name is not liberation from material world. He explained such a goal could be accomplished by the mere reflection of Harinam, Namabhas. Arinda, also known as Gopala Chakravarti, a person who used to perform financial dealings for very rich persons, he stood up under the influence of his status, and he retorted, "These are the statements of a sentimentalist or a mad. Statements of a sentimentalist or a mad person. People endeavor so much to attain liberation, and this man says that liberation is possible by mere namabhas, or in other words, just by the glimpse of the holy name. If it does not happen, then his nose will have to be cut off." Haridāsa Ṭhākura replied, "Why are you arguing? It is not my opinion. These are the words of the scriptures that I have heard and presented." The man insisted, "If this is untrue, then your nose will be cut." But Haridāsa Ṭhākura was not upset. However, Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar, under whom the tax collector Arinda was working, felt this was an offense to Haridāsa Ṭhākura because their spiritual teachers Balaramacharya and Yadunandanacharya were acquainted with Haridāsa Ṭhākura and they used to visit him. Immediately, they dismissed Arinda from his work, and 3 days later, he contracted leprosy and his nose melted off. People at the assembly glorified Haridāsa Ṭhākura's spiritual powers, but Haridāsa Ṭhākura at once left the place. The snake gave away. Then Haridāsa Ṭhākura went to Fulia, and there also one strange incident occurred. As he was living in a cave there, a snake charmer informed him of a poisonous snake in the cave. The snake charmer could identify the snake just by the odor of its body. Snake charmers possess a special knack for knowing about the snake's presence by the smell itself. This is not just hearsay. I have personally witnessed it too. Once in our Mayapur Math also, a snake charmer detected the scent of a poisonous snake there. Then, by playing on his pipe, he captured the snake and put it in his basket. Then he said, "There is another," and asked his companions whether there was a place for it in the basket. The snake charmer explains the next snake was not very poisonous. Then he caught it and also put it in his basket. Just from the smell, he could identify the presence of a poisonous snake. Wow, very interesting. So Haridāsa Ṭhākura said, "I do not feel its presence, but the people who came to have darshan of Haridāsa Ṭhākura and hear his Harikatha knew about the snake." So Haridāsa Ṭhākura said, "If indeed there is a snake, then I will leave the place in 3 days and go elsewhere." After saying this, a snake appeared from the cave thinking, "I was residing here to hear Harinam from him, but for my sake he has to leave the place. So in this way, the snake removed himself from the cave." I remember reading the description of the snake also. He had like a jewel on his head and his color, and it described what color he was, like orange, white, and blue, if I remember correctly. Like this, yeah. Okay, so then Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura came to Shantipur to reside. There he used to meet with Advaita Acharya often. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Advaita Acharya felt great ecstasy in his heart, and Haridas also felt great jubilation. They realized there must be some reason for their happiness. Otherwise, why would they feel such great joy? But they were unable to understand the reason. Later, they got the news that a son had been born to Advaita Acharya's friend, Jagannath Mishra. Along with his wife, Advaita Acharya went to congratulate him. He offered varieties of gifts, like people normally give on such occasions. And Shachi Devi worshipped him by offering clothes, etc., as per Vedic injunctions. Mercy on the perpetrators. Because Haridāsa Ṭhākura was chanting the holy names, he was warned by the Yavan administrators. You have to give up chanting of the holy names, otherwise you will be severely punished with beatings by cane until death in 22 marketplaces. Not in one marketplace, but in 22 marketplaces, as it was a big town. in order to give the public the message. In spite of taking birth in a pure Yavan family, he has accepted the dharma of the kafirs and is performing Harinam. And this is the punishment one has to face for such a sin. Why was Haridas not unhappy about the punishment meted out to him? He was grateful. He thought, I associated with the enemies of cows and Brahmins. And so compared to this great sin, this punishment is very less. I should have been subjected to more severe punishment. When he was asked to give up chanting of the names, he said, even if my body is cut to pieces and life may leave it, still, I can never abandon the chanting of the holy name. So he was given this punishment, but he did not die. Some people begged the soldiers, please don't beat him like this. We will give you money if you beat him. We will give you money if you beat him with less force. But the men had instructions to beat him to death. Finally, they told Haridas Thakur, if you do not die, then our lives will be taken away. Then Haridas Thakur performs the pastime of falling unconscious, making it appear as though his life airs had left his body. Thinking that his body is not fit for burial, which is auspicious for Muslims, or even burning, he was thrown into the Ganga, which is considered inauspicious to the Muslims. Śrīla Haridas Thakur floated to the other shore of the Ganga, that is Shantipur side, and again started performing Harinam. When the soldiers saw him chanting and walking away on the other shore, they became afraid of him and realized that he was a living saint, and they sought his forgiveness. The cost of imitation. One day, a snake charmer was singing Krishna's names and was making the snake dance to his tunes. Hearing the Krishna Lila Kirtans, ecstatic symptoms of love for Krishna arose in the heart of Haridas Thakur, and he was overwhelmed with love for Krishna. Seeing this, one deceitful Brahmin also began to exhibit or imitate such symptoms, which in turn enraged the snake charmer, who went to hit the man with his cane. The people were astonished. He did not say anything to Haridas Thakur, but he beat the fake Brahmin black and blue because the snake's mood, the avish, had entered into him. This is very brief. There's so many descriptions of Śrīla Haridas Thakur's Bhagavad and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī is just giving just a glimpse of each part. So, commands to preach. Later, Chaitanya Dev ordered Haridas Thakur and Nityananda. Mahaprabhu ordered them, Shuno, Shuno, Nityananda, Shuno, Haridas. Sarvatra amar agya koroho prakash. Prati ghare ghare giya koro e biksha. Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna shiksha. It's Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda 13, verses 8 to 9. And we will be putting this in the Gaudiya Giti Gutra as well. There's like a group of verses where Mahaprabhu was giving instructions on Harinam, and so we're going to put that. So Mahaprabhu said, listen, listen, Nityananda, listen, Haridas, make my command known everywhere. Go from house to house and beg from all the residents. Beg them to please chant Krishna's name, worship Krishna, and teach others to follow Krishna's instructions. 3 drunkards. 3 drunkards. Okay. Haridas Thakur was robust, well-built, stout, and also 23 years older than Nityananda Prabhu. As they preached all over the place, the devotees welcomed them, and the atheists attacked them. When Jagai and Madhai attacked, Nityananda Prabhu could run away swiftly, but Haridas Thakur experienced great difficulty and became unhappy. When they returned the next day, they were again confronted by Jagai and Madhai. Yesterday we chased you away, and again you have come back, speaking the same words? When Jagai and Madhai attacked again, Haridas struggled to escape. Afterwards, Haridas Thakur complained to Advaita Acharya, with whom he had an old friendship. He said, I will not go along with this avadut. Avadut means somebody who's completely beyond social customs, beyond social norms, externally seeming maybe crazy even, but internally actually they're on the highest level. But yeah, so I will not go along with this avadut. He can jump high and run fast, but I cannot. He is very fickle. Then Advaita Acharya foretold, today you saw 2 drunkards. Tomorrow you will witness 3 drunkards dancing together. Thus he prophesied the future happenings as they returned on. Thus he prophesied the future happenings, as when they returned on the 3rd day, Madhai suddenly struck Nityananda on the forehead with a broken mud pot. Still Nityananda spoke to them. Just because you have hit me on the head, do you think I will not give you prem? Surely I will give you. Then the devotees uttered in shock, alas, alas, what a mercy. Between the two, Jagai begged, Madhai, stop hitting him. There has never been such a compassionate donor, and there will never be one in the future. Saying thus, he stopped Madhai from striking again. The great commotion attracted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear there. He summoned his chakra, his Sudarshan chakra, in order to finish Madhai. But then Nityananda, okay. Wow. Never seen this picture before. Nityananda Prabhu had previously questioned Haridas Thakur. Am I fickle, or is your Prabhu fickle, chanchal? He gives orders like a king, instructing us to go and give the message to all. Instructing us to go and give the message to all. And if we don't follow his orders, we will be committing faults. But how can I be fickle? I think your Prabhu is fickle. But to understand such words is not easy. Both are singing the glories of each other, but in Vyatireka bhav, that means in an indirect manner. This is called Vyadhi Stuti, indirect glorification. Immediately, Nityananda Prabhu stopped Mahaprabhu. He said, if you have affection and love for me, then I beg you for his life. And Mahaprabhu said, Jagai has stopped Madhai from further violence, so I bestowed mercy upon him, but not Madhai. Both are offenders, Nityananda Prabhu pointed out. So why should there be any disparity in bestowing mercy? Then Mahaprabhu said to Jagai and Madhai, if you will promise that you will not repeat such an offense again, I can pardon you. Otherwise, I will finish you. Then they touched their ears with both their hands and said, never again. This is the role of Haridas Thakur and Nityananda in Mahaprabhu's first preaching pastime. I am not qualified. Later, after accepting sannyas, Mahaprabhu left along with Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodar, and Mukunda. At that time, Haridas Thakur prayed to Jagannath Dev and pleaded for permission to follow along. Later, when all the devotees visited Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Puri, they offered their pranams to Mahaprabhu in the Gambhira at Radhakanta Mat. But Haridas was not to be seen. That time, Mahaprabhu asked, Kaha mor Haridas? Where is my Haridas? Haridas was on the road offering Dandavat pranams to Mahaprabhu from very far. He said, I am a Malecha. I do not have the qualification to go near Mahaprabhu. He never went near the Jagannath Mandir. When the devotees made arrangements for Mahaprabhu's stay, they decided to host him at Rajaguru Kashi Mishra's place. At the Guru of the King, Kashi Mishra's place, which had a big garden and 2 rooms on either side. Mahaprabhu accepted only on the condition that he reside in one of those rooms called the Gambhira, very tiny room. Siddha Bakul. Mahaprabhu requested a room in a secluded place for Haridāsa Ṭhākura in Puri, and he presented that place to Haridas when he arrived. Previously, it was secluded, but now you must wind through many houses to reach there, causing it to seem further than it actually is. Haridas stayed there and chanted the holy names. Whenever Rupa and Sanatan came to Jagannath Puri, they stayed with Haridāsa Ṭhākura. These 2 brothers also would not go to the Jagannath Mandir, or even near the vicinity of the temple. Their thinking was that the servitors of Jagannath would be busily running around in that place for the service of the Lord, and it would be an offense if by chance their bodies would touch yavanas like them, making the servitors impure and thus unfit for the Lord's service. And actually, as we know, Rupa and Sanatana by birth were actually, I'm just talking from an external in their pastimes in this world, are Brahmins by birth. But they consider themselves to be like Muslims because they served, they associated with the Muslims and, served in the administration like that. Once in the location of Haridāsa Ṭhākura's residence, Mahaprabhu planted a twig. He planted a twig of the bakula tree, and it was the brushing twig used in Jagannath service for brushing his teeth in the morning. So Mahaprabhu planted that twig of a bakula tree, which instantly grew into a tree. Thus Mahaprabhu made arrangements so that they could all sit underneath the shade of the tree and chant Harinam peacefully. Haridāsa Ṭhākura lived in a hut and would daily sit under the shade of that bakula tree and chant Harinam. The place is now famous as Siddha Bakul. Mahaprabhu made arrangements for their prasad Mahaprabhu made arrangements for their prasad of Haridāsa Ṭhākura, Rupa and Sanatan, as well as he made arrangements for their prasad as well, and his sevak Govinda would daily go to fetch prasadam for them. Sweetness of the holy name. One day, as usual, Govinda brought Mahaprasad, but Haridas said, "You have brought Mahaprasad, but I won't be able to take it. I cannot dishonor the Mahaprasad either." So he offered pranams to the Mahaprasad and took very little in his mouth. Govinda went and informed Chaitanya Deva of this. And Mahaprabhu came immediately to Haridas and said, "What is your ailment? Why didn't you accept Mahaprasad?" Haridas responded, "Prabhu, my body is fine, but my mind and intelligence are sick. I am not able to maintain my fixed number of rounds of Harinam, meaning I am not able to complete my 3 lakh of names every day." Mahaprabhu told him, "Now you are in Siddha Avastha. You have reached the stage of perfection, so you can reduce the number of fixed rounds." But he did not reduce them. Why? When one begins tasting the sweetness of the holy name, naturally he will do more and more. He cannot chant less. Haridāsa Ṭhākura demonstrated this. The divine departure of Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Haridāsa Ṭhākura said, "Prabhu, I have a feeling that soon you will be concluding your pastimes in this world, and I do not wish to witness that. So it is my prayer at your lotus feet, which I ask you to please fulfill, that I give up my body while placing your lotus feet upon my chest, my eyes fixed on your lotus face, and my mouth uttering your name. Mahaprabhu said, "What is this I am hearing? I get happiness upon seeing my devotees, and if you leave, I will be very unhappy." Haridas replied, "Please, Lord, do not put me into illusion. For one who has crores and crores of kamadhenus, what loss does it make if an insignificant ant dies? You have crores of devotees more superior than I. I am insignificant. So what is the loss to you if I leave?" In this way, he prayed to the Lord. The next morning, Mahaprabhu and the devotees arrived and they began a Nam Sankirtan. Haridas Thakur also chanted Harinam Kirtan following them. He placed Mahaprabhu's feet upon his chest, and his vision was fixed on the Lord's lotus face, and chanting his names from his lips, he left his body. Then Chaitanya Dev took his transcendental body upon his shoulders, and while performing kirtan, he took him to the shore of the ocean and gave him samadhi, and gave orders to the ocean to retreat 6 waves' length in that place. The samadhi was given on the sands of the beach, and it was not destroyed or broken. Today, they have a building with rooms in that very location surrounding the samadhi. After the samadhi ceremony, Mahaprabhu himself spread out his uttariya, his upper cloth, and begged for prasadam from the storekeeper, saying, "Haridāsa Ṭhākura mahotsaver tore, prasada magiye bhiksha dehotto amare." It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, 1174. "I am begging prasadam for a festival honoring the passing away of Haridas Thakur," the Lord said. "Please give me alms." Those who had been to the Jagannath Mandir have seen the size of their vessels. They offer massive vessels of Mahaprasad. Sarup Damodar and the other prominent devotees also collected and distributed Mahaprasad to all and fully satisfied them. Even to this day, on the Tithi of Haridas Thakur's Samadhi ceremony, without invitation, whoever goes there will be served Mahaprasad. Just like Mahaprabhu did not invite anyone for Haridas Thakur's Samadhi ceremony, people came on their own accord and were served Mahaprasad. The same practice continues today. Yeah, and I've gone many times for that, maybe like 6 times for that. And it's amazing how many devotees come for that, for honoring Mahaprasad at Haridas Thakur Samadhi. It's Vaishnavas from every single sangha. It's actually very beautiful because you see Vaishnavas from every single parivar, every single family, like every single line coming from Mahaprabhu, every single Sarasvat Gaudiya Vaishnava from all the different Gaudiya mats and all Vaishnavas. It's probably the biggest gathering of Vaishnavas from different groups and sanghas and lines like that to ever gather in one place. The unique blessing of Mahaprabhu. And there's a picture of Mahaprabhu putting Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura into Samadhi. Mahaprabhu said these blessed words. He said, "All those who had Haridāsa Ṭhākura's darshan, who took part in the kirtans during his Samadhi, who offered sand on his Samadhi, or who even just took Mahaprasad on his occasion, will all quickly attain Vaikuntha and Krishna. These are the glories of Haridas." Then Mahaprabhu further stated, "Kripa kore Krishna more, diyachila sangha, swatantra Krishner icha, koila sangha bhanga." It's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, 1194. By Krishna's grace, I got his association, and by the Lord's grace only, I am deprived of his association now. It is my misfortune. I have lost his association. Haridasa achilo prithivir shiromani taha bina ratna shunya hoilo medhini. Same chapter, verse 97. Haridāsa Ṭhākura was the crown jewel on the head of this world. Without him, the world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. Now that he is gone, the world has lost a jewel. These are Mahaprabhu's words. Such are the glories of the Vaishnavas. Pride and ego never made their appearance in him. He was always in the mood of being humbler than a blade of grass. Pranadapi. Vaishnav darshan is purifying. Chaitanya would go to the sea for his daily bath, and from there he would go to visit Haridāsa Ṭhākura without fail every day. What is the teaching he gave by this pastime? If he would take his bath after having darshan of Haridāsa Ṭhākura, then people would say that he went to take bath to become purified after meeting Haridāsa. In this way, he would first purify himself and then visit Haridāsa Ṭhākura for darshan. Why? Because kshane kshane karoto koti ganga snan. Every moment, Haridāsa is taking his bath in crores of Gangas, because he always chants the names of the Lord. But he is an independent Vaishnav. Therefore, I pray for his mercy. He was made the Acharya of the Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan. So he is called Namacharya Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami had said, Namami Haridāsam tam Chaitanyam tam chatat prabhum Sangstitam apiyan murtim Swanke kritva nanartaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 1197. I offer my respectful obeisances to Haridāsa Ṭhākura and his master Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who took Haridāsa in his arms and danced. Jai Shri Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai. Okay, so now it is 8:16. As I mentioned, today's program is going to go on a bit longer. So now let's see, what should we read next? I haven't actually decided what we should read next. Let's see what there is. Is this one? Should we meditate while chanting? Huh, that's interesting. Anyways, I'm not going to read this one now, but that's on the page. Who will feel more separation? Let's read this one. It's very short. Okay. Okay. So who will feel more separation? So this is from a darshan with Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on May 25th, 2012 at Chandigarh, India. So the devotee asks, how can we understand separation? It seems very painful. If the spiritual world is nice, it seems very painful that there is so much separation. Then Sripad B.K. Damodar Maharaj, Bhakti Kinkara Damodar Maharaj says, she is asking, how can we understand viraha, separation? Srila Maharaj, separation will be understood by your feelings. Every moment you will be thinking about the object of separation. Sripad Damodar Maharaj says, she will not be able to understand if you continue to speak in Hindi. So then Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī starts speaking in English. He says, so he's speaking in English. I haven't heard him speak in English very many times. You will always be thinking about him at every step. When you see his slippers, when you see his bed, his glasses, everything, immediately you will remember him at every step. That is real viraha. As much as you serve, in that proportion, you will feel viraha. As much as you serve, in that proportion, you will feel viraha. So, if you have not devoted your energy in service, you will have no viraha. It is entirely dependent on the sevak, how much he serves, physically, mentally, and financially, everything. Otherwise, there will be no viraha. If you devote your energy to an adopted son, and you have always devoted your energy for that boy, if that boy was to leave this world, you will feel very much sad and always feel viraha for that boy. It is easy to know what is viraha. You are always thinking about him. So how much viraha we experience is the proof whether I have so how much viraha we experience is the proof whether I have served Gurudev or not. Any act is considered service when it is performed from the core of the heart. I will give something as a one-off. That is not service. It is a kind of energy that one devotes. Then gradually you may go there by this process if you keep devoting your energy. So that's something that's very hopeful, that even if I haven't served Srila Gurudev, and so I'm not, so sincerely and, with my body, mind, energy, all my heart, everything, if I haven't done that service, and so maybe I'm not feeling so much viraha from Sri Gurudev, but that viraha can still come. Srila Gurudev has given me so many ways that all his Harikatha it's all instructions and if we can follow his instructions, that's the topmost service that we can do for Srila Gurudev. By following his instructions in his Harikatha, that's what will please him more than anything else that we try to do. And so if we are able to follow those instructions and we sincerely try to follow them and serve him in that way, then even now we can start to feel separation, even if we don't feel it, like if we haven't felt it before. And another point, if we associate with devotees who are feeling viraha, who are feeling separation, then the fire that's in their heart will also light the fire in our heart. So those two things. Śrīla Bhakti Mahārāja says, for instance, if a street dog comes to your house, and if you feel like, then you offer roti, rice. You keep feeding the dog like this. If another dog bites that very dog, then you protest. Is that dog your relative? So why do you protest? Because your energy was devoted towards the dog. So viraha entirely depends on the energy devoted by the devotees. And it means that you're actually doing it for their pleasure. Not that you're just serving in a big way a pure devotee, but that you're doing it with the desire that by this service, my Srila Gurudev or this Vaishnava will feel pleased. My Param Gurudev says that, and pleasing Gurudev gives me life. That is my life. And so if we do it with that mood, serve in that mood of wanting to please them, then we'll get this sambandha and this viraha. Usually your eyes, your nose, your ears, everything you engage in the service of the Lord, usually your eyes, your nose, everything you engage in the service of the Lord automatically. You become attached according to your devotion. It does not depend on how long ago you have joined the mat. It entirely depends on how much you are able to devote your energy to the mat and to Sri Gurudev. Yeah, this is such an important point. It doesn't matter how senior you are. It doesn't matter if And I've witnessed that. So many, there have been devotees who've never even had darshan of my Srila Gurudev, who all of a sudden, they, they have more dedication to my Srila Gurudev and more sincerity and more like relish to hearing his Hari Katha all the time and like that than I've ever had, even though I've had lots of association with my Gurudev. But these people who've never had association seem to have an even stronger sambandha with my Gurudev than me. And so, yeah, that's our process is so, yeah, so merciful. Okay, so let's go back to, if anybody needs to leave now, Dandavat Pranams, thank you for joining. I'm going to continue reading though. I'm in Mayapur right now, and I will be going for Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's program starting at, they asked me to be there at 9 or 9:30. Right now it's 8:24. So I said I'll probably be there at 9:30, so we can still read a bit longer. Whoops. Okay, what should we read now? Maybe let's read a homage from one of the devotees. That'd be nice to hear his voice. Also, there's so many nice things to read, actually. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to read. How long is Shamarani Mataji's? Let's see, maybe we can read that one. Nam will manifest by performing sincere seva. Oh, this one's a little bit long. Maybe. Okay, we'll read excerpts from this, maybe not the whole thing. I haven't actually read this before. Okay. All right, sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So Nam will manifest by performing sincere seva. So this is Shamarani Mataji. This is her offering. Words fail me in glorifying a personality whom even Ananta Shesh cannot sufficiently glorify. I simply offer this darshan in remembrance of him, in hopes that he will grant its fruit. The darshan took place in Vinod Vani Gaudiya Math in Vrindavan, India, on October 6, 2012. It's a picture of Shamarani Mataji offering a flower. I'm just going to read a part of it because I also want to read. I want to read like glorifications of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī. So, okay. So Shamarani Dasi, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. When I met you for the second time in Mayapur, a devotee introduced me to you. He told you I was a famous artist preacher, disciple of Śrīla Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, and as a famous Shiksha disciple of Śrīla Bhaktivedanta and Narayan Goswami Maharaj, editing and painting for Śrīla Narayan Maharaja's books and so on. You responded by saying, "That's nothing." That's nothing. Only Nam Bhajan is something. You showed me right away that I need to have a complete change of my life. Wow. Although your words were amazing to me, and I wanted to be able to follow them, I continued along on my super fast train of publishing, preaching, and trying to avoid the fact that there's nothing inside. Going around the world so many times, finally, everything caught up with me. My health failed to the point where it doesn't bounce back. I know that I have to concentrate on Nam. Then Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja says, I am delighted to learn that you have a desire to chant the name. All this seva, all this service, is not real seva. Chanting the name and thinking of the leelas of Krishna and doing manasi seva is real seva. But that is the highest stage. We have practically done so much seva, but it is not justified unless and until you have identified yourself with the name. The name and Krishna, the name and Krishna and his vigraha, his deity form, are identical. Madhavendra Puripad only uttered the name. He did not perform any other seva, any puja, any worship, nor did he write any books. He only chanted the name. That is sufficient. Krishna was compelled to reach Madhavendra Puri with a milk pot. Krishna was compelled to reach Madhavendra Puri with a milk pot. Krishna asked him, "Why are you not begging?" Madhavendra Puri replied, "Who told you I am not begging?" Krishna said, "The women of our village come to take water from Govindakund. They informed me that there is a Babaji who is fasting. He is only taking milk if someone supplies it. So I am compelled to come here. Please take this milk. I have an engagement because I am a cowherd boy, and so I am milking the cows. After I finish, I will return here and take my pot back. Please clean it and keep it with you. After some time, I will take it." He continued to chant the name, but the boy did not return. When he was later on in a dreaming stage, that boy rushed there and told him, "My name is Gopal. I was installed by the grandson of Krishna, Vajranabha. My sevak left me in a deep jungle, and since that time I have been waiting for you to come here and rescue me. I am suffering from the winter and summer seasons. Please come immediately." Was Madhavendra Puri a rich man? And Shamarani Mataji says, not externally. And Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja says, Gopal demanded cloth for winter and a room for staying in the rainy season. Was it possible for Madhavendra Puri? Who is the boy? He is Lord Krishna. Krishna is the owner of all properties, the owner of all knowledge and all beauty. He is the supreme power. He can do anything. When he was only 6 days old, he killed Putana. His hand is so soft, but Putana could not remove the boy from her breasts, and he finished her. How long was Putana? She was 18 kilometers long. Yashoda was crying. In the meantime, all the Rajvasis of Gokul rushed there. They were compelled to use stairs to climb up to Putana's breast to rescue Gopal. And Gopal was smiling there. He was not harmed. There was not even a scratch on his body. When he was 5 years old, Brahma stole his calves and cowboys while he and his friends were taking lunch. He thus expanded into all those innumerable cows and friends in order to keep their parents happy until the originals would return. He is most powerful, and his knowledge is incomparable. His beauty is incomparable, so much so it attracted Lord Narayan. Yet that Krishna was attracted by Madhavendra Puri because he wanted to taste his devotee's prem. The prem of the devotee is what attracts the Lord. Then Shamarani Mataji says, I thought taste for Harinam would come by the external services of the publishing and preaching, but it didn't. Then Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī says, if it is real seva, then it will increase. Then Madhav Priyaprabhu says, I presented your words in a little different way. I spoke with him that by doing so many services for the pleasure of Guru and Vaishnavas, will there be a time that it will develop? He said that if it is real service, without personal motive, then there will gradually be love. Then Shamarani Mataji said, there must be personal motive in me. Because there is no taste in Nam. I just find this so beautiful. This is how we approach the Vaishnava, like Shamarani Mataji is showing how to sincerely approach a pure devotee like that. It's very inspiring to see this. And Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. If some selfishness is there while we are doing service for name, fame, or position, then one will not achieve that stage which we are supposed to achieve while doing service for the pleasure of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. Your services are not heartly services. Then Shamarani Mataji says, I am understanding now that only if I can chant Nam purely will the service be heartly. I feel completely helpless. My mind goes all over the place, to a million places. How can I be empowered to chant Nam properly? Then Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. When we are doing seva, if the motive is to please Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, even though it may take time, definitely the time will come when the name will appear on the tongue and make us fortunate. At that time, it doesn't come by our efforts, but it comes automatically. The gopis are illiterate externally and never read anything, but they had full conviction and were not fearful at all to give their foot dust for the service of Krishna, whereas the rishis and all other devotees were afraid. The rishis were learned, but they could not come to the level of the gopis. The gopis achieved this because of their selfless service. Another example is Govinda Prabhu, the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Once, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the doorway, he put one chadar on him and crossed over him while massaging him. He stepped over his body, Mahaprabhu's body. Where did he get this intelligence that he could do this and not be committing an offense at all? It is completely prohibited. It is completely prohibited in the Shastra, and no one would dream of doing it. But he had the conviction to do it. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tadami buddhi yogam tan yena mam upayanti te. And the meaning of the verse is, upon those who perform bhajan to me with love, yearning for my eternal association, I bestow the transcendental knowledge by which they can come to me. It's Bhagavad Gita 10:10. So, if someone does service with love and affection, then he gives that person intelligence at the topmost level. Chanting of Harinam can never come on one's tongue unless he is in the association of pure devotees. And Shamarani Mataji. I understand that, but I traveled around the world with Śrīla Narayan Maharaj for so many years, hearing thousands of lectures, hearing on my iPod and so much reading, but zero now. Then Madhav Priya Prabhu says, Śrīla Maharaj gives one example. Suppose a tap is broken and one drop is continuously leaking out onto the ground. If it is not repaired for 6 months or a year, then after a year, one sees that a small hole is there in the earth. Was this small hole started with the first drop or with the last drop? When were we able to see it? Even though it started from the very beginning, to our external vision, it appeared after 1 year. So Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. It does not matter if we see any difference or not in our life. As one gets a chance to serve great devotees, please them, travel with them, or hear from them, then impressions are coming. We won't realize it until after a long time, but it starts from the very beginning. Serving pure devotees can never go in vain. When one is feeling this way, it is a symptom that he has attained something. If one has not attained anything, then he will not feel anything. When the vessel is empty or has a little water, it makes a big sound. Yes, I am something. But when it is full, it doesn't make any sound. Wow, that's beautiful. I love that example. The topmost sentiment of Srimati Radhika. Na prema gandosti darapi me haro grandami sobhagya baram prakashitum vangshi vilasyanana lokanam vina bibharmiyat prana patanga kanvrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, my dear friends, I have not the slightest tinge of love of Godhead within my heart. When you see me crying in separation, I am just falsely exhibiting a demonstration of my great fortune. Indeed, not seeing the beautiful face of Krishna playing his flute, I continue to live my life like an insect without purpose. It's Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 245. It is the nature of bhakti that it never makes anyone feel that they are attaining something. The more we attain, the more we feel we are lacking. You are fortunate that this has happened and a chance is there. Wow. Then Shamarani Mataji says, if there's a chance, then can you tell me something so that Namruchi can come? That is my main service now. That is my main service now that my health went down. Then Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja says, there's no need to focus on external physical services. In your mind and heart, you can do some service. Sriman Mahaprabhu gave the order to Raghunath Das Goswami to do Manasi Seva. Always be engaged in serving Radha Krishna with your mind. Service in the mind is also complete service. It is not that is not considered complete service. Once Srila Raghunath Das Goswami offered milk and rice, kheer, to Radha and Krishna, and then took their prasadam. Externally, in his body, some symptom came that he was manifesting sickness pastime. The doctor came, and some villagers also were there. The doctor announced that he took some rice and milk, but nobody could understand it. They said that he was only taking buttermilk, so this doctor must be a crazy person. Then Srila Raghunath Das Goswami admitted that it was true. We can understand that doing Manasi Seva is a complete Seva, and not only physical Seva is real Seva, because it was in his internal meditation that he had taken the remnants of Radharani. A shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam states that if with one's whole heart, body, energy, and mind, one serves Krishna for the welfare of all beings, his human life is successful. If someone is not capable of doing that externally, is there no chance for someone to engage in bhakti of Krishna? No. Whatever one has can be used for the service of Guru and Bhagavan. If someone is poor, does it mean he can't serve? No, there's also great hope. One can serve with his intelligence. If one is foolish, is there no hope? If one is physically unable to serve, he can serve by his words. For example, once there was a fat woman. She loved her husband so much, but with her body, she could not do service for him. She would sit in one chair and order the maidservant, make hot chapatis for him. He only likes hot chapatis. Keep his shoes by the door, otherwise he won't be able to find them in the morning. Do this and do that. Even though externally the maidservant is serving the entire time, and the fat lady is just sitting, who is serving? In reality, the wife is serving because she has love and affection for her husband. Even though physically she cannot do anything, she is serving. It seems like the maidservant is serving all day, but she is not serving because there's no mood of service. She is only getting paid. Then Shamarani Mataji says, my problem is that I cannot control my mind to concentrate on Manasi Seva of the Nam. Can you give me some blessing for that? Then Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī says, God will help you. Then Shamarani Mataji says, can you bless me that my desire for that increases? Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī says, I always bless you because you are sincere to know and follow. It is very few who are sincerely following. I think that in my understanding and experience, your attempt is sincere because you remembered my words which I told you in Mayapur. There's one thing I find so beautiful, so exemplary in this, in Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja and in Shamarani Mataji. We see a real Shiksha Guru isn't someone who's just going to flatter somebody, just like tell them what they want to hear. And because Shamarani Mataji is like one of the earliest disciples of Srila Prabhupada, has done unlimited service. There's so many ways to glorify her. Like she's so senior. And so most people are always just glorifying her all the time. And, but Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, we see he never treated her with more importance than any other person. He didn't see her like, give her a special, like, give her a special seat or, give her any special attention or anything. And he would talk to her so strongly and frankly, like, and just, cut, and that is real guru. They're not there to flatter the disciple. And that's a real shiksha guru. His purpose wasn't to try to make a relationship with her and to try to attract her or anything like that. No, he's going to tell her what he thinks is most auspicious for her so that she can continue serving her, Srila Prabhupada or Srila Gurudev, like that. And that's a real shiksha guru, is that they increase our devotion to our diksha guru. And so
we witnessed that with Bhadrini. We went for darshan, actually it was 2011, and there was some controversy. Some devotees had, separated, and anyhow, so she wanted to ask Bharati Maharaj to resolve it and speak to them. And anyhow, we went with Satan Maharaj, Basanti Didi, of course, Shamarani Didi, and so we went in the room and we were just, he treated, when she asked that, he said, he gave it, his examples were so vivid and impacting. And so she asked, that question, if he could intervene. And he said, well, he gave the sample, well, the king has 2 elephants, and there's a little calf that comes in and starts eating their food. Well, they look at it and they won't do anything. But if another big elephant comes, well, there'll be some, so it was just something that, they're not, why you want me, to be that and not these two, they're not on my level. But, he was very, like that. And there were other devotees, and the example of the water drops and like that he gave at that time. And
oh, really? That's
yeah,
an example.
yeah, that
Wow.
sweet, that charming Bengali. He said, chant non-stop chanting. And devotee was saying, this young devotee was saying, but my mind goes everywhere. I said, oh, don't pay attention, just let it do, and you keep chanting non-stop. And wow, it's so impacting. Those very few moments are so precious.
Yeah.
And I forever will lament. I had a ticket for next day and to leave, and he came close to me and said, I'm going to Chandigarh. Are you coming? Come, please. Oh, no. I said, oh, Maharaj, that was the biggest mistake. I will regret forever, to have not had that association, and I can't, when he was invited. So that service. And this article was so important because I was talking about this with Tungavidya Didi, and that how I read where they're saying you have to become internal. The true service is like that. And I had the chance to be sick in Vrindavan, and I felt so embarrassed and so bad that I couldn't, even go to 1 block away, to visit Radha Mudar and like that. And so I got to read some lecture about Srila Gurudev, and I can't find it, but he talks about being internal. You can do the service in your mind. And so I started to do parikrama around Vrindavan with my mind. And Guru, I don't know, it was magical. Gurudev helped me. And because he did before, he'd show me all these places. And so, and then I remember them in my mind. So I just started the parikramā all around and visiting, Srila Prabhupada and Samadhi and, chant there, do circumambulation and like that. Go then continue the parikramā pass and Prabhupada, so all the places, it's like, wow, okay. So I chanted there. And I'll tell you, the body suffering was secondary of what was really going on. And I never heard this from Shamarani had that dialogue, and like that. And he approached us too, the three of us, and he said, "You are good listeners." And then he walked out.
That's very nice.
But as like you said, I mean, he's not there to flatter us, And my first encounter with him was I was introduced in person and at their mat in Mayapur, and Bhakti Tirtha, of course, he was present then, and he spoke some fabulous stuff. But anyhow, Ramesh Prabhu said, "Maharaj, this is Nrihari," and he looked at me and said, "No dash," and I was just like, "Pema Dana." He cut like whatever ego was there. He's just like, smashed it, but in such a way that it just, I realized that, wow, my realization came. And so that was it. Like you said very well, the Shiksha Guru won't be flattering. It will say the same thing that Diksha Gurudev, although Diksha Gurudev is like the father, so it's more strict. But the same message is there with the Shiksha Gurudev. He guides us in the same way towards the real goal.
Yeah, and that's something I really appreciate, like just seeing Shamarani Mataji's example also, just how we don't want to be flattered and be glorified or like be shown respect. We want Shri Guru to chastise us and to give us instructions that are going to help us, and like that's what we want, and that's so much visible and we can see in Shamarani Mataji's behavior with
Yes.
she interacts with Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Like it's just this like dependence and like a dependent child, like they only have their mother and father like that, but even more than that, because usually children don't want chastisement, but but yeah.
So it reminds me of that passage in Bhagavad, Chaitanya Bhagavad, and Haridāsa Ṭhākura and Sanatana Gosvāmī, he's thinking of committing suicide and all that. And so when he comes, he says, "Well, Lord, why you praising me? Why you don't just..." Now I realize I'm not in your inner circle, because if you would chastise me like you do with Jagadananda, then I know I'm in your inner circle. So that, wow, that really, that helped me so much, understanding, that actually chastisement is a lot better than, of course, it's okay, you don't arrive, like, or doesn't say anything. And so it was, how Guru did it, like I was witness to, it came to Hawaii, we will be flying to the Oahu and go see him every day. And so at this time, a devotee wanted to leave his group and get married. And so Gurudev was keep asking her that, why do you want to leave? Just, and then he looked at me and he said, "What would you like to do? Be there at your house?" Because he had been he said, with the palm trees and you chanting your japa, or be here with Guru is chastising. Gurudev is here. That's a great mercy.
Haribol.
Haridāsa Ṭhākura, Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai.
Jai.
And Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja ki jai.
Jai. Haribol. So I think now I'll have to go to for the program, his samadhi, in just a few minutes from now. So I think unfortunately I didn't bring my microphone with me, so I just have my computer speakers. But maybe we can just sing Jaya Nila Premadhana, and then we will end our program for today. On Facebook, I think, yeah, Facebook, and there's a program happening for Śrīla Bhāratī Mahārāja today online also. It's so many different devotees are glorifying Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And so if anybody wants to tune into that, I don't know where you find it, but I bet you'll be able to find it somewhere on Facebook. I'll share the link if I find it. But yeah, then there's going to be all day glorifications of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Yes, Sarveshwari Mataji, yes.
Prabhu, someone curious, the celebration of Śrīla Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja, where is in Mayapur? Is in which temple is where you going now?
Samadhi. It's at his Samadhi. His Samadhi is just Gopinath Gaudiya Math, just across the street from Gopinath Gaudiya Math is where his Samadhi is.
Right, yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
pandal set up there, and all the
Yeah.
Vaishnavas will.
Oh yeah, right. Yes. I know. And one thing, can I say something to Bharati, to Baba Tarini Mataji and Prabhu? I don't know the name. I just want to say that just like a parent, it's very difficult the separation, but probably Vivadas is listen us, and because he born with association of pure Prabhupada disciple. I pray that Gurudev will give high destination to him. Yes.
Yes, and one thing I just think is so wonderful and beautiful is that the best thing we can do for Bhima Prabhu at this time is that we absorb ourselves in Harikatha and Kirtan, and in this way, and we pray for him. We pray at the feet of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on his disappearance day, of Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, of our Guru Varga, our Śrīla Gurudev, and we absorb ourselves in this and praying for the most auspicious possible destination, that he will be very soon, like he'll take birth in a wonderful family of devotees and will be in topmost association, come to the feet of pure devotee. But the best thing we can do is just to fully lose ourselves in Harikatha and Kirtan. We see that example in Srivas Pandit also. But and that's the only way we can get any kind of solace. There's no other solace other than the feet of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, the Harikatha, Kirtan, everything. That's our one place of solace.
It's very auspicious day because we hear the separations, Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. So it's the most auspicious day that this soul can go to higher destination. Very auspicious, and in between devotees and Prabhupada's disciples, the parents, and all the atmosphere is all glories to him, for this service.
Jai. All right, I'm getting the mridanga, and then we'll. Jai Anila Premadhana. So I'm just opening it up. Oh, 1 second. Let me just. Okay. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Nila Premadhana Karuna Prachur Jaya Nila Premdhana Karuna Prachur Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Ṭhākura Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Ṭhākura Kaha Mon Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kaha Mor Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kaha Dasa Raghu Nata Patita Pavan Kaha Dasa Raghu Nata Patita Pavan Kaha Mor Bhatta Juga Kaha Kaviraj Kaha Mor Bhatta Juga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kota Gela Gora Nataraj Eka Kale Kota Gela Gora Nataraj Pashane Kutibo Matha Anale Poshibo Pashane Kutibo Mata Anale Poshibo Gauranga Kunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pavo Gauranga Kunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pavo Sheshava Shangir Shangir Je Koi Lavilas Sheshava Shangir Shangir Je Koi Lavilas Shesangana Paya Kante Narottama Dasa Shesangana করুণা প্রচুর জয়া নীল প্রেম দানা করুণা প্রচুর অহেন প্রভু কোথায় গেলা আচার্য ঠাকুর হেন প্রভু কোথায় গেলা হরিদাস ঠাকুর ও হেন প্রভু কোথায় গেলা ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান গোস্বামী ঠাকুর জয় স্বপর্শর জয় গৌরা হরি স্বপর্শর জয় গৌরা হরি জয় হরিদাস ঠাকুর হরিদাস হরিদাস ঠাকুর হরিদাস জয় ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান শিল ভারতী গোস্বামী ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান ভারতী গোস্বামী হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে just one thing that came to my mind. Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he would always give so much emphasis on this point. He would always say how the appearance days and disappearance days of the Vaishnavas, this is our greatest sampad, our greatest wealth that we have. And on these appearance days and also in the disappearance days, they come to us. They're actually coming directly to us. And so if we fail to honor them when they come to us, then that's an offense. It's neglecting a Vaishnava when they come to you. You know, they come to us and then all of a sudden we ignore them. And so I just I think it's it's no coincidence that Bhima Prabhu, he left on this day, because on this day the Vaishnavas, Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he's coming to us, he's giving us solace, hope. He's also showing us that today's the disappearance day of Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, and so he's coming to us and telling us the glories of Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura, who's Namacharya. He is the one who gave us he showed how there's nobody else called Namacharya. He is the Namacharya. He is the one who is showing us how we can take shelter of Sri Nam. And so on this day, it couldn't be a better day of the year when this is what we do in the most difficult of times. The only shelter we have is the feet of Shri Guru and Shri Harinam. Shri Harinam is our connection to Shri Guru. This is what Guru gave us. This is our connection to him, our umbilical cord to Shri Guru. And Shri Guru is the only one in the most difficult circumstances. Shri Guru is the only one who can give any kind of solace, any kind of help. And so even though it's the most tragic, most difficult thing, but actually it's so beautiful in one way that that it's on this day. That's all we have. Harinam Shri Guru. And so this day is, I'm going on too long, but Jai Shri Bhima Prabhu ki Jai, his very auspicious journey into his next very auspicious destination. Ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai. Shri Harinam ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Jai Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai. All right, so I'll do a short Jaidwani because I actually am late for the program now, and then we'll continue on with our program tomorrow. Tomorrow is also a very auspicious day, Shri Vishwarup Mahotsav, the day Srila Prabhupada took sannyas, the day our Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Gosvāmī Mahārāja took sannyas, and the third month of Chaturmasya, so we will have a special program for that. And all right. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vijñāna. Nityalila Pravishta Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta. I'll do full Jaidani, why not? Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta. Narayan Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta. Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta. Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nugogoria Guru Varga ki Jai. Shri Nityalila Pravishta Shishimad Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Shishimad Bhakti Balavatirtha Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishra Shishmar Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishra Shishmar Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. All the disciples of Śrīla, all the associates of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. And all the disciples of their associates and all the followers of those disciples and all the lines coming from Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Śrīla Baladev Vijñāna Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Raghunath. Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari. Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. To dear Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Kahor Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala, Gora Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Amuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Bhima Prabhu ki jai. His auspicious journey ki jai. His auspicious destination ki jai. Jai Śrīla Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. All the festivals going on all over the world for Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja and for Śrīla Namacharya Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. All the devotees participating in these festivals ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams. Dandavat Pranams Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji. Dandavat Pranams to you both. Dandavat Pranams Sarveshwari Mataji and Nadi Krishna Prabhu. Let's see, on YouTube and Facebook. Rup Manjari Didi, Isabella, Krishna Mai Didi, Indira Mataji. And yeah, Indira Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Pramila Mataji, Champak Mataji, and so many devotees. Samir Kulkarni and Simran Didi, and lots of devotees, and everybody, Vangsiwala Prabhu. And I see here in the chat, there's so many comments, and everybody is praying for Bhima Prabhu. So many devotees all over. And yeah, I mean, it's just amazing that we get to, on this day, if this didn't happen on this day, then it'd be really difficult it would be a lot more difficult to have something very direct to completely focus the mind on. And, we wouldn't have this powerful Harikatha of, all about the glories of Harinam and the glories of the Vaishnavas and Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī. So yeah, it's very auspicious in this way, because the best thing for the auspiciousness, for Bhima Prabhu's auspiciousness, is that we just pray for him and absorb ourselves in this Harinam and glorification of the Vaishnavas. So, Jai. All right. Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody so much for joining, and see you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranams Niri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji. Hare Krishna. There you go. All right, I'm going to end now.